It's a hot chocolate kind of day. Coming up on your ATV News. Gas prices are on the rise. We'll show you what you can do to beat the wallet drain at the pump. This colorful car came to campus this week. We'll show you why it was here. And men walking in style. Just not the style you would expect. We'll show you why.
We'll take you to the football team's most recent spring scrimmage, and I'll show you what baseball did to UVU. We'll have this and more coming up on ATV Sports.
Skies are gray and it looks like they're going to stay that way, but I'll tell you if there's any color coming up in your weather week.
All that and more coming up on your ATV News.
Welcome to your ATV News. I'm Emily Landine.
And I'm Jenna Lynn.
2 explosions erupted yesterday during the Boston Marathon, killing 3 people and injuring more than 100 runners and bystanders who were cheering the runners at the finish line.
Officials still don't know who is responsible for the bombings. President Obama spoke to the nation, saying whoever was responsible would feel the full weight of justice.
Our thoughts are with the friends and families of those who were injured on Thursday. We'll show you how victims and even police used social media at the Boston bombing on Thursday's show.
Summer is getting closer, and as temperatures rise, so do gas prices. We sent out our Marie Titza to show how higher gas prices can be a good thing.
Most of us cringe when we see our low gas light go off, and since February of 2010, they've gone up by $1.13. While Utah's gas prices aren't the most expensive in the nation, drivers still worry about their wallets. The spike in gas prices may attract car owners to walk or to bike to get to where they need to go.
I do ride my bike around campus all the time. It's like my primary means of travel.
I walk everywhere.
Walking manages weight control, can also reduce the risk of many diseases like strokes and heart attacks. But biking and walking isn't just for your physical health, it can relieve stress too.
I like walking to class. It's nice thinking, listening to my music, gives me more time to sort of think about the day ahead.
Some daily travelers are fighting the high cost of gas by using public transportation, while others are protesting on Facebook and asking their friends to boycott gas stations until they lower their prices. Online sources, such as the Walk versus Drive calculator, can show drivers just how much their gas is costing their health and the environment. You fill in the chart with how many miles you travel per day, then how often you travel per week, your car's fuel efficiency, and the price you pay per gallon. Then it estimates how many calories you could be burning if you walked or if you biked, and your car's impact on the earth. It makes walking to class seem a lot more important. Marie Titza, ATV News.
To calculate your own walk versus drive comparison, visit usnews.com/walk versus drive calculator.
Things have been a little slow at Logan's own Willow Park Zoo. Now help is on the way to get people out to the zoo. Our Randall Henry shows us how the helpers are mostly four-legged.
What do this eagle, this falcon, and this wolf have in common? They're all ambassador animals here at Willow Park.
Being able to have an animal that people can interact with, put their hands on, and really see up close helps to break barriers to where people aren't afraid of a stereotype or being able to learn. I feel that when people have an opportunity to interact personally with an animal, that there's a lot of amazing things that can happen.
Interaction with some of the animals is one way that Willow Park hopes to attract more people.
A lot of negative stigma is associated with them. We just want people to understand they're not bad creatures, they are not evil, they have their place, and that there are issues with them, but they're issues that can be resolved in a positive manner for all parties involved.
During the colder winter months, Willow Park moves some of the animals inside so that they could do extensive renovations to their pens.
This is Damu. He's an ambassador wolf here with his handlers, here to spread education about wildlife and wolf conservation.
Hopefully ambassadors like Damu will help the park out. Randall Henry, ATV News.
You'll get a chance to see plenty of other animals like the wolves. The park says it will host events like this one in the future.
USU students and the general public will have the opportunity to hear from Elizabeth Smart tomorrow when she visits the USU campus. Smart is currently writing her memoir about the kidnapping that took her from her home a decade ago. She'll be speaking as part of the university's Common Hour in the Taggart Student Center. We will have more on the story on Thursday's ATV News. What would you do if someone vandalized your car?
How would you feel if you knew someone did it because of who you are?
We went out to find out how one woman turned graffiti into a national tour. The fag bug. This brightly colored car has been seen all over the country advocating against hate crimes. But how did this start?
I had a long skinny rainbow sticker on the back window of my car, and one day I came out to it and somebody had spray painted fag on my driver's side window with red spray paint and "You are gay" on the hood of the car.
All too often, people are subject to hate crimes and offensive words. If you were publicly labeled, what would you do? Erin Davies took her hate crime as an opportunity to spread awareness by leaving the graffiti on for a year before repainting her car to be the fag bug. For the last 6 years, she's been driving all over the U.S. with her story and a documentary she's made to bring hope to those discriminated against. And her controversial car has created quite the stir in many places.
My car's been rewritten on again, it's been egged, it's been keyed, mud's been thrown on it, it's been spit on. Someone threw a dog on my car once in Chicago. It was really strange in the middle of a parade.
But there's been a lot of good and inspiration that's come along with it too.
This 10-year-old boy from Virginia watched my movie with his brother who was 14 that just came out to him, and said he told me that it made his brother feel less alone. So things like that is what kind of fuels my project.
Many people have left notes on the fag bug explaining how Erin has helped them. It's a wonder why so many hate crimes are being committed.
I think it's just fear. I think people don't understand other people, and that's why we have so much hate crimes. I think it's just a misunderstanding of who someone is and why they are the way that they are. If everybody took an opportunity to learn about who people are, then there would be a lot less hate crimes. Davies is in the process of making a second part to her documentary as she continues touring around the U.S.
When we come back,
you may raise an eyebrow when you see these men walking in high heels. But believe it or not, it was for a good cause.
You have fun, Cam?
No, don't give in to her.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
so what would you think if you saw your brother or your boyfriend or your husband walking around in your high heels?
Well, I would think they'd have a pretty hard time fitting into them first off.
Yeah, female high heels are a little smaller than most guys, and you may even think it looks a little strange.
Yeah.
But what if it was for a good cause? Hundreds of Aggie men strutted in the stilettos across USU's campus last week for the Sexual Assault and Anti-Violence Information Office's event, Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. These men literally walked 1 mile in a pair of women's high heels across campus with posters showing support to end sexual violence. This was part of an international men's march to raise awareness on campus and in the community. Their heels probably were raising some eyebrows, but men were proud of their stilettos. The Walk a Mile in Her Shoes campaign is now in its 5th year at USU, and the Campus Sexual Assault and Anti-Violence Information Office, who sponsored it, hopes this event will keep getting bigger each year.
Cache County Search and Rescue saved 4 people, including a 7-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy, in Cutler Marsh last Saturday. They lost control of their canoe and were blown away from shore by strong winds. Search and Rescue found the boater and got all 4 people back to shore unharmed.
The Cache Valley dump is full. Victoria Carden shows you where your trash is going to go now.
This is the site of Cache Valley Landfill.
And that landfill is running out of capacity.
So they are in the works to build a new landfill. This will be called North Valley Landfill. It's far from the community. It's 5 miles north of Clarkston. There may be a cost difference in the future for the extra gas. It's set on a 500-acre land buffer zone, and it took 12 years to agree on the site. There's no hazards. It's estimated to be open about 50 to 70 years. The Cache Valley Landfill is very close to the community, within 2 to 3 miles of most residential areas in Logan. It's easily accessible and is set on only 85 acres of land. It would have failed the standards set today, and it's running out of capacity. It was scheduled for 2022, but it's estimated to close within 5 years. So the new site is safer.
I do believe that we take care of what we need to do at this landfill. We never had any problem with it.
A lot of Logan residents feel that if they don't have to travel too far to take out the trash, and it's not going to cost them any money, they're not really too worried about it.
I didn't even know they were building a landfill, but if I don't really have to pay anything, I don't really care if they do it or they don't.
But since the trucks have to travel further to take the garbage to the new landfill, there may be a cost difference in the future. Victoria Carden, ATV News.
The landfill workers say they are trying to make the transition as smooth as possible between the old landfill and the new Clarkston landfill. A local gymnast has qualified to go to national gymnastics competition in Oregon. Ian Jepson is a gymnast at Altius Gymnastics Academy and is their only student so far to qualify for nationals. He has also recently been offered a scholarship, which is rare because only about 50 men's gymnastics scholarships are offered nationwide each year.
A few weeks ago, ATV News told you about safety on Utah State University campus. Today, Arlie Kubik shows what crime you should look out for and how you can protect yourself.
Probably something related to drugs or something.
I would think probably theft because it's the easiest.
The #1 crime on campus is indeed theft. Students report theft on average once a week.
Bicycles and electronic items are the two most popular items taken. Electronics includes computers, cell phones, cameras, video games.
Keeping an eye on your possessions is the first step in theft protection.
With new technology comes new responsibilities. Leaving your phone lying around anywhere, it's no guarantee that it'll be there when you get back.
I've just always been kind of cautious about my stuff wherever I am.
It's kind of just like part of growing up. You have to learn to be responsible for your things. And where there's a bigger freshman community there's probably a lot more theft.
According to police reports, the #1 theft offenses are much higher in 2011 than in 2008. With this increase, police are trying to get the word out that they are here to help.
We encourage people to contact us right away. That's when the crime is most recent. There may be witnesses in the area, anything that we can use to follow up on, because the longer the time goes, the more difficulty it is in finding evidence and witnesses and stuff like that.
Lee Kubik, ATV News.
If you need to contact USU Campus Police Department, you can call 435-797-1939.
Well, the weather has been kind of strange recently. I mean, it's been, some days it feels like spring, and then the next day...
miserable?
Yeah.
like today.
It's been overcast, windy, just really cold.
Yeah, it's not fun at all. So let's take a look at our current temperatures in Logan. It's about 39 degrees.
2 outs with a runner on.
Way to go on that.
Now the big guy comes off the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
We're here with your ATV weatherman, Randall Henry. How are you, Randall?
Good, good. You guys?
Okay, been better. This weather has not necessarily been the greatest today.
Well, it's typical for spring in Utah, and it's just going to be about this temperature for a while.
No sunshine coming?
Not for a little bit. I'll tell you more about that as we move on through our program. As you can see outside, it's kind of overcast, it's chilly, not the nicest weather to be out in right now. Okay. Here on our weather map, we have our national weather temperatures. Up here in this dark area, this purples and blues area, is cold weather. This is where we're currently at, and we're seeing about low 40s. Towards the end of the week, we might be seeing low 50s, but that's a little questionable as week goes on. We're not like down south where we get nice warm temperatures the entire time. No, we get purple, and purple is cold. So let's move on to our weather and what it looks like throughout the nation. Okay, again, this bluish area right here, that's where it's snowing. And we're, again, right there in that blue area. And unfortunately, that means we're getting snow. Snow is, well, not good. We got over here, though, green areas. Those are rain. Lower down here around Florida, that's fog. And it's going, it's just foggy down there. Let's move on to our precipitation. This is the area we want to look at first and foremost. This is our, well, I guess we can look at our, this is our green area, and this is where we're getting rain. And we're going to see about an inch, half inch, somewhere in that area. But it's going to be rainy, snowy, watery area. That's where we're getting water. Over the other area that is really getting a lot of water is from the northeast. And as you can see, as I pointed out earlier, that's a rain area. Now let's look at our 5-day forecast so we know what's going on in Logan. Okay. I keep going to the wrong sides. Okay, so it's currently, today's high is about 41 degrees. It snowed a little bit in the mountains today. It was rather cold. 32 as our low. Next day, tomorrow, 43, low of 19. It might snow a little bit overnight, but it's just going to be mostly cloudy tomorrow, not so nice. On Thursday, we got 49 as our high and a low of 32. Again, partly cloudy, just kind of a cold day. Friday, we're getting to a high of 52 with rain, and it probably will be that same, it might feel a little colder than that 52. Saturday, 53 with a low of 30, and that's pretty much what your weather's going to be like. But spoiler alert for next week, you could see some sunshine back to where, but that's maybe later.
So what you're saying, Randall, is we're going to maybe get a couple days of sun, but it's going to be a little cold.
Yeah, it's going to be a little cold, not so great. Sunshine is most likely next week, and hopefully it'll continue after next week.
I guess we keep our sweatshirts on.
That, yeah.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Randall.
Yep.
Well, coming up on ATV Sports, see how Aggie football team did in their most recent scrimmage, and USU baseball was in action in Providence this weekend. We'll tell you how they did.
Meet David York, renowned physiologist at Utah State University's Center for Advanced Nutrition.
I said you're
Meet
lying.
Andrew Bergen, avid mountain biker and a sophomore biology major working with Dr. York. Together, they are studying the plagues of our century, researching ways to reduce obesity, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, hoping to shape the future.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
What's up, everyone? I'm Eric Youngblood with your ATV Sports. The sound of pads popping could be heard at Romney Stadium Thursday as the USU football team held its third scrimmage of the year. The offense and defense both played well with key contributions coming from running backs Joey DiMartino and Joe Hill. The final schedule was also released Thursday with USU having to go on the road for the first 4 out of 5 games of the season, a task Coach Wells feels the team is ready for.
I do know it looks like we're going on the road. That'll test this team, but you know what? That doesn't bother me because we have a veteran team. These guys won't flinch. They know how to get on a bus. They know how to get on a plane. And shoot, we can be delayed with snow in Logan, Utah in September. These kids won't flinch.
USU will wrap up spring drills when it hosts its annual Blue versus White spring game on April 20th at 2 p.m. USU's club baseball team is ranked 8th in the nation and looks to defend a national title. I went out to catch the Aggies in action as they moved closer to that goal with a doubleheader against UVU. It was a cold day for baseball in Providence, but that didn't stop the USU baseball team against Utah Valley University Saturday. The Aggies jumped out to a 5-0 lead by the third inning and never looked back, putting up 16 runs on UVU. Jaron Tyler pitched a gem for Utah State, going 4 innings and allowing only 2 hits while striking out 6. The Aggies mercy rolled the Wolverines, ending the game with a final score of 16-0 in the 5th inning. The scoreboard says it all. The Aggies blanked UVU 16-0 in their first game of the afternoon. Will their power surge continue into the second game? Let's find out. The Aggie bats came to life, putting up at least 1 run in every frame before reeling off 8 runs in the bottom of the 4th. The Aggies would again mercy rule the Wolverines and end the game after 5 innings right before the bad weather rolled in. Players felt confident about their victory after the game.
I feel like our team's really come together this last part of the year. Like minor adjustments are being made every game, and I feel like now we're ready to try to win another championship.
Yeah, we swung the bat really good today. A lot of hard hits, hit where it needed to be. Everybody wasn't swinging for the fence, but the ball dropped and we were able to run the bases.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like the team's just really make improvements every day. Like pitchers are finally feeling more comfortable on the mound. Hitters are hitting the pitches they need, not swinging at bad pitches, and fielding's really smooth. We work together really well, so it makes us more comfortable out there in the field too.
Just wanted to get in and shut them down so that we could get away with a 10-run rule. So coming in the last inning and get work done.
The Aggies' last home game of the year is this Friday at 7 p.m. against the University of Utah. USU slides to an overall record of 8-33 in softball after last Saturday's 8-0 loss against Seattle. Sophomore third baseman Nicole Arata led USU at the plate with a 2-for-2 outing with a double. Sophomore right fielder Haley Froten was 1-for-2 and senior first baseman Christine Thompson was 1-for-3. Seattle had 4 runs in the third and 2 doubles in the 5th, giving them the run rule victory. The Aggies return to action, hopefully improving their record when they host Louisiana Tech in a weekend series starting Friday. USU track and field was in action over the weekend at Sacramento State's Mondo Mid-Major Challenge. The USU men tallied 127 points overall to finish second as a team, and the Aggie women finished 4th overall. Shari Hawkins and Keely Elridge took home gold medals for the women. Travis Johnson, Nick Bowens, and Will Henry all finished with gold medals. USU will host its only home meet of the season this weekend and the Mark Faldmo Invitational. The Utah State's men's tennis team improves to an overall record of 7-12 after weekend action against New Mexico State and UT Arlington. The Blue Aggies fell to the Red Aggies 4-2 on Saturday. However, the team rebounded on Sunday to defeat UTA 4-3. The team will play at Air Force on Thursday and wrap up their season against WAC foe Denver on Friday. The last game of the NBA regular season is tomorrow, and the Western Conference playoff picture may have gotten a little bit more interesting Friday night when a star got injured. During the fourth quarter of the Los Angeles Lakers' win over the Golden State Warriors, guard Kobe Bryant went down with a torn Achilles. The injury will sideline Bryant for the remainder of the season and possibly his career. This could be good news for Utah Jazz fans as their team is in the midst of an intense race with the Lakers for the final playoff spot. The Jazz trail the Lakers by 1 game going into tomorrow's finale. They need to beat the Memphis Grizzlies and hope for a Lakers loss against the Houston Rockets. For the Lakers, it's simple. Win, and they are in. The Jazz will tip off against the Grizzlies at 6 p.m., followed immediately by the Lakers and Rockets. Both games can be watched on ESPN. We'll have more Aggie sports for you on Thursday. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Eric. We'll be back after the break with more ATV news.
Did you win the iPad by filling out the library online survey? And it only took you 5 minutes? You can win an iPad too by filling out the library online survey. Let your voice be heard.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall, and make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Stop paying those expensive citations. Stop putting quarters in the meters and always running out of time. Stop having to pay for parking by the hour. Instead, visit the Transportation and Parking Office and buy a parking permit. Then you can go on to happy parking.
Welcome back to your ATV News. A new exhibit at the Nora Eccles Harrison Museum of Art opened last week. If you go, you'll see a screen where the artist modifies art before your very eyes, but the artist isn't human. It's called Aaron, and it was developed by Harold Cohen. Aaron started by making black squiggly lines before learning to create works independent from any person. There are only 2 installations of Aaron in the country. One is here at USU and the other in Pittsburgh.
Thanks for watching your ATV News.
We'll see you guys next time.